A bat and the ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? Welcome to another episode of Developer Habits, a YouTube channel for software engineers about growth mindset, developer lifestyle, and technical tutorials. If these are topics you are interested in, then please do hit the subscribe button below. My name is Ketmar, I'm a full stack developer from Estonia, and today I'm going to tell you how you can improve one of the most important skills a developer can have: critical thinking. I remember being in the army, listening to a presentation about thinking in stress situations. The presenter asked us the same bat and ball question and told us to give the answer as quickly as possible. Being a smart guy, I thought that's easy, the answers 10 cents. But well, if you do the math, you'll see that that's incorrect. And after hearing the solution and the correct answer, I thought to myself, how could I have been so stupid? That seemingly random moment reminded me of many previous situations where I made bad decisions or given incorrect answers just because of rushing and not taking time to think properly. That's when I decided it's time to change something in my thinking. So I started researching the topic and constantly found myself being introduced to the concept of critical thinking. So what is it? Very simply put, critical thinking means analyzing the information you have before forming a final judgment. When we are communicating with others, reading newspapers, or just researching for new awesome tech, we should try to differentiate opinions and facts. Understandably, it's not feasible to analyze everything all the time, and that's why we make use of heuristics or thinking shortcuts. But sometimes those same shortcuts can lead us to wrong conclusions, which we then take as a truth. As someone relying too much on those mental shortcuts and others' opinions, I started looking into ways of improving myself. I read tons of articles, watched YouTube videos, and even went to coaching. But what really shook my thinking was this book by Daniel Kahneman called Thinking Fast and Slow. It drastically changed the way I think, and now I'm going to share some of the main points I take away from that book. Thinking Fast and Slow introduces us to two agents of thinking, System 1 and System 2. System 1 is fast, not very thoughtful, and makes use of shortcuts. It's the agent doing the thinking when you do simple maths like 2 plus 2, meet people for the first time and make up your first impressions, and in my case, answer the bat and ball question. System 2 is slow, analytical, and rational. When someone asks you a complex question that makes you think, it's usually System 2 that does the work. For example, if you're asked what's 23 times 43, then probably you have to think and do some calculating in your head or on paper. And that's System 2 doing the work. That said, both of them are needed. For example, when you're programming a complex function, you should use System 2. Whereas if you have to choose a next song in your Spotify playlist, then it's probably better to leave this job for System 1. A big part of Thinking Fast and Slow is explaining how System 1 can lead you to unthoughtful decisions because of the shortcuts it uses. One of those shortcuts is answering to simpler questions. If System 1 encounters a question that's hard to answer, it will just replace it with a simpler one. For example, should I invest in Google is replaced by do I like Google? As a developer and a project manager, I don't feel that proud at the moment, because there have been many projects I have failed to deliver in time just because I have been over optimistic, thinking that this time it's different, this time we can do it, although experience with previous similar cases have proven otherwise. For some reason, people are prone to make decisions based on the best case scenario. They underestimate the costs and overestimate the benefits. So next time, when planning a project, keep that in mind. Have you been in a situation where you deploy the code live and it causes an error and you're like, I knew it will cause an error? Well, why did you deploy it live then? The thing is, we tend to build our memories and understandings based on past events. Hindsight bias simply means that after an event has happened, we tend to think we knew it by facts. And when we think back, we start to remember only the facts that support the happening of the event. Can a doctor recommend you a medicine? Well, of course, it's a doctor we are talking about. What about a programming language for your next project? Well, that depends. I used to believe people just because they have proven their knowledge in one field. But the truth is, knowing something in one field doesn't make you knowledgeable in other areas or other fields. Halo effect simply means that our positive or negative perception of a person can influence how much we believe them and trust them. And well, doctors usually are smart, but they may not always know about programming languages. This bias means that you form your opinion only on the information that you've got, and system 1 is really fast to form beliefs based on that information. As a critical thinker, what you should know is that there's usually more information out there, more information to analyze. Of course, sometimes you don't have access to extra information or you just are running out of time. And as a critical thinker, you should acknowledge that your opinion and conclusions are based or can be based on lacking information. So next time, when making decisions, try to gather information from various sources and analyze different possibilities. Probably many of us have been in a situation where we continue building a poor system just because we have invested too many resources, knowing in our hearts that the project will fail. That's what sunk cost fallacy is all about. Simply explained, it's about our inability to assess other options when we have already invested too many resources. So next time, when a new project manager walks in and cancels the project, think about it. Maybe he's right. My English vocabulary just isn't rich enough to explain what I felt and thought after finishing Thinking Fast and Slow. What I can say is that it had a huge impact on the way I think and how I approach problems. I believe it made me a better developer and a better person. I've gotten better in differentiating facts from opinions, analyzing media and what others say. So to conclude, I do not think that one should always be analyzing his or her environment, but as developers, we should at least try to implement critical thinking in order to make better decisions. And at least in my case, reading Thinking Fast and Slow was a huge step towards that. That said, I thank you for listening. I hope you learned something new, and if you did like this video or you like the topics I cover, then please do hit the subscribe button below. See you in the next video. Bye.